Welcome back to the Caribou Data Science Show. I'm getting ready to run my first report. By the way, a big shout out to all you folks who continue to view this video on Facebook. I have a favor for you to ask you tonight. I would appreciate if you would share this video with one other person today. One family member, one friend, one coworker. Share this video and the Caribou Data Science Show with them this week. That's it. We currently had, what did we have last time? Okay, so what do we got here? Let's take a look at how you folks are doing in Sweden here. Okay. On the on January 7th, you folks accounted for 16 views for my last COVID-19 video for Sweden. If each one of you shares this video and this channel with one person, we'll be close to 40. We'll be close to 40 views. Okay, and that'll be more views than any other COVID-19 video I have posted so far. You know, you need to get this report needs to get out. Okay? You need to understand that the Swedish government is doing something that doesn't make any sense. Because I can assure you, the numbers I'm posting here are the pure numbers. They all come from hopefully reliable sources. So I say hopefully because the reports are only as good as the data. And my general opinion is overall the data is good. You know, but also point out that Sweden isn't the only country that's doing this with the weekends. Spain is doing the same thing. Spain is now recording numbers on Saturday and Sunday. Instead, they're on Saturday to Sunday's numbers on the Monday. So this creates extra spikes. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to this. Let's get back to your story for today. I guess to make sure we're clear, this is of course January 10th, 2021 here in Central Ohio in the U.S. It's about 7:15 p.m. Let's just get to the story here, okay? So where is Sweden here? Here we go. Okay, so here we are. Let's go ahead and update this to the 10th. Okay, so let's come back down here. Let's take a look at your at some numbers here. Let's pull in some libraries, and let's pull in some data. Okay, now, so here we go, and this is the link, of course, to the official site. So first, we're going to run some plots. We're going to do a plot of cases, plot of the Tuesday to Friday data. Okay. Okay, so and this is from December 1st, although these changes in the recording method actually began back in August. So let's see what we got here, first of all. 9. Okay, so here we go. What's this here? Let's change all this to columns, okay? Okay. Let's just do all these with columns, see exactly what we got here, okay? Here's where I question and this is where my beef is with these numbers. Let's take a look here. Since December 1st, these are the dates. This is Tuesday. Tuesday includes the numbers Saturday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Now look what it's doing to your numbers here. This is completely blowing your numbers out of whack here. Here's the remaining 3 days of the week. Here's the weekend. 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, 2 days. This is Christmas and New Year's Eve over here also. But still, look at these peaks, folks. Listen to me. You didn't have over 30,000 cases this day. Instead, if you look at the other days, there are only about 10 to 12,000 cases. Okay? So this spike here is almost doubling the actual number of cases being reported. Okay? Now, if we take a look here, this is a 7-day moving average. This helps get rid of some of these gaps in here. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. In actual fact, but of course you see 6,000 here also. So that doesn't make any sense again, does it? Deaths. Once again, here's the deaths being reported only 4 days a week. Okay, here's the thing. Let's see. If you look at this over here, at one point you had over 250 you had over 250 deaths in one day here, close to 300 deaths. If you look over here, the highest number of deaths you have was only 100. Then you had this gap here. Now, these are averages. So what's happening, rather than having a complete gap here, you're getting the averages between the spikes. Let's come on down here and let's take a look at what this is. This is daily cases and deaths for Sweden. That's of 227. Now here's the actual problem. Look what happened here. Look what happened here. When he switched to the plot, you went from this is 5,000. You went to maybe from 2,500 cases in a day to spiking above 30,000 for Tuesday. This is madness. Now, if we look at a 7-day moving average, we get a better picture of what's going on. You're not having over 30,000 cases. So what this number means is this represents the average number of cases for the previous 7 days. So for the previous 7 days, you only averaged 7,441 cases, as opposed to over 30,000 cases. So the numbers are not good, but they're still not crazy. And to me, this presents a completely different story and a more accurate story. Let's take a look at deaths now. Once again, this is true. There is an increase in cases. Okay, there is an increase in deaths. I'm sorry, but really, you had over 300 deaths in a single day. Of course, then it drops back down. Why? Because this is Wednesday, right? Now, if we take a look again at the average, what you see here, you're actually for the last 7 days, you're only averaging 100.857 deaths. All these numbers back in here. It also means that this 7-day average has just now passed the previous high. Okay? Let's take a look at weekly numbers now. Weekly numbers is another way to get rid of those gaps in the data. We'll see. Notice the gaps are now going ever since October. That's because all these numbers are falling into a single week. So we could say, well, you had, say, 50, let's just say for the sake of 50,000 cases in the previous week. So we could say 50, 1, 2, 3, divided by 7. So this means in actual fact you are averaging, say, 7,142 cases per day for that week. That's still a lot of cases, but it's not 30,000. Okay? Take a look at deaths. Last week's deaths was the first time when you actually passed the highs back in April and May. So this is 400, 500, 600. 700 deaths for the week. That's 100 deaths a day. There's a big difference between 100 deaths for the day, okay, and over 300 deaths for a day here. Now let's take a look at monthly cases and new deaths. Monthly cases, well, you can see, unfortunately, that December's deaths were the most deaths so far for a single month. But December's deaths were the second most, at 2,000 deaths for December. Okay. Now we're going to compare Sweden's numbers to the okay. Now we're going to compare Sweden to other countries in the EU of a similar population. So we're going to compare Sweden to EU countries with a population between 9 and 12 million. And these countries are Belgium, Czechia, Greece, Sweden, Hungary, and Austria. So let's go and run the data for those countries in. Now we're going to take a look here at cases. And you look at Czechia's cases, 125,000 cases so far. While Sweden is the second highest, it's just barely above Belgium, Hungary, and Austria. It's still under, this is 50, this is 70. So this is 12,500. So we could say here that Sweden is under, say, 65,000 cases so far. Yes, it's in fourth. It's the second most. But look at the difference between these three here in Sweden isn't that great, and it's less than half of the total cases of Czechia. Let's take a look at deaths now. Now, unfortunately, Sweden has the most deaths. Okay, this is 1,500 deaths so far, and this would be, say, 1,750. So maybe Sweden has 8,000 deaths so far, or 1,800 deaths so far. All right. Now let's take a look at these same countries split out by these same cases split out by country. Notice that the Y labels here vary from plot to plot. That way it gives us a better fit for the data. What we can look at here is you can see, Sweden's had over 15,000 cases at a spike here. Okay. But Czechia is also at 15,000. So this isn't, to a certain extent, it's a good measure, although the total deaths, as you see back up here, isn't that much difference. Okay, because you had this spike here and it's not as high, but it was for a longer period of time. Okay. Now let's take a look at the same thing for deaths. And again, of course, the numbers along the side are different. Okay. So once again, you can see Sweden had this spike at 124 a single day, but look at all the days when you didn't have any numbers. Look at all the space underneath some of these other plots. So while they're high, the single day high may not be that much. In all probability, well, they probably had pretty close to what Sweden had, which we saw earlier with the deaths, right? Now let's take a look at cumulative totals. Now I want to caution you before we look at this. Cumulative totals are the total number of cases or deaths from the first case from the date of the first day to any point along the plot. Okay? So let's take a look at cases here. Well, look at this. You had this long period of very flat growth. And this to make you understand, you see, if you got this plot right here, okay? If we take this line right here, so let's say this line's 100,000. So that means from the date of the first recording to the date up here, where this line intersects, was 100,000. So each column is another day, and each day is the total number of cases or deaths from this point up to that column. Okay, so don't be misled by this number here. The main reason of these numbers is so we can look for the flattening of the curve. Okay, now this is an interesting plot here because while you can see the deaths are up above 7,500, say about maybe 8,500 deaths total. Look what happened. You had a very steep climb back in April, and then you had a flattening of the curve here that lasted from say June all the way up until November. And now, of course, back in say November, you're starting to climb again. So that's not particularly good. But let's take a look at these plots by cumulative plots by country. Look how similar these plots are in terms of cases. They all start off flat, and they all begin to climb at the same time. Let's look at deaths. Now the deaths are a little different, but the thing you want to notice is, because you see a flattening here, a flat here, a flat there, flat here, and flat here. So why did all of a sudden the cases start to explode? Did you open back up the economies at this point? Maybe. But, Sweden, so once again, you can see that Sweden still fits within these 6 countries. All right? So I hope this report has been helpful for you again today. Again, I want to ask you to share this. All you got to do with this report is click on the share button. Also, click on the like button. I need all you folks out there to click on the like button. And I also need you folks to click on the share button. Okay? Click on the share button and share this link with one of your friends this week. Let's see if we can double the number of views for this report this week. What do we say? The reports were 16. Let's see if we can get 40 views this week on this report, okay? I will be back on, say, Tuesday or Wednesday to do a new report. So hopefully this report gives you something to think about. Of course, comments, questions are always welcome in the comment section below. Okay? Thanks so much for your time. We'll catch you in a couple of days with an updated report.